Hey guys, BigDebuffs here. Today we are on the 11.2 PTR and we are going to cover the Holy Paladin tier bonuses for both Herald and Lightsmith. We'll also cover the talent changes that they are doing. I already did a video like this covering the tier bonuses and the talent changes, but I want to do it now because I want to see the talent changes for myself on the PTR, and the tier bonuses don't work as I explained it in the on that video, so this is just going to be a cover-up, a fix of what I mistook, the information I mistook on that video. So yeah, let's get right into it. We have our Herald of the Sun tier set first, because I'm currently spec as Herald. So our 2 set, Dawn Light's healing and damage is increased by 30%, and you gain Solar Wrath after Avenging Wrath phase, causing Sun's Avatar's effect to linger for additional 10 seconds. And our 4 set, Solar Wrath increases the effectiveness of your Holy Power spanners by 15% and grants you 2 Dawn Light. So the idea of the linger effect, as we all know, Herald of the Sun is a little bit awkward because its burst healing is probably the strongest burst healing in the game. I mean, Herald of the Sun Avenging Wrath is probably the most dangerous cooldown amongst all healer cooldowns. I'll stand by that till the end of time. But Herald rotation in terms of your stability outside of your cooldowns feels really awkwardly unstable. I mean, you wouldn't think that'd be the case because you have some pretty good healing every 30 seconds with Dawn Light, crit chance, a hot that funnels into Blessing of Wan Shi, the additional cast of Holy Shock randomly, which also procs the Holy Power. You have haste, guaranteed way to proc your Divine Purpose. You wouldn't think that Herald of the Sun stability would feel that awkward, but it does. It really does. So, the idea... What the crap was that? That looked awesome. The idea of adding a lingering effect to kind of help you out when you lose your wings feels nice. Now, of course, that's only 10 seconds, though, out of the minute and 50 seconds that you're going to have no wings. Yes, but I mean, once you're out of your wings, you're kind of out of gas, until you get your Holy Prism back. So that extra 10 seconds will probably feel like the greatest 10 seconds ever. So let's go over the tier set. The healing of Dawn Light is quite nice, buffing that by additional 30%. I don't know if there's any PvP modifiers for it. I mean, the PvP dummy's not tracking it, so I'm not entirely too sure. But nonetheless, buffing Dawn Light healing and damage is great. Dawn Light already does good healing. Buffing that even more is nice. Maybe that'll make something like Morning Star even more valuable for even more Dawn Light healing. Not sure. The Sun's Avatar Linger effect. Sun's Avatar, I'm not super impressed with. It used to be, I don't know what happened. It used to be so much higher Season 1 in my breakdown. Now it's like barely, it's like barely keeping up. It's like below my Dawn Light, but it's like not super. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it's a lot lower than it, than it should be. It should be doing a pretty decent amount of healing. So, Sun's Avatar lingering for 10 seconds is gonna kind of hopefully boost it up and get it back on the damage breakdown or the healing breakdown. The 50% increased healing during my Solar Wrath feels great. I mean, like I said, when you're outside your wings, you're outside your wings. That's all your juice gone. So for the next 10 seconds, you're just doing 15% extra healing, or however much healing in PvP is great. And 2 Dawn Light applications is also good. There's only one way to proc Dawn Light, and that is through Holy Prism. Avenging Wrath itself procs Dawn Lights through your Sun's Avatar. But yeah, our main way to proc Dawn Light is through Holy Prism. So when your Avenging Wrath ends, being able to proc 2 Dawn Lights feels really good. We can just kind of test it here. MML Wings, I got my Sun's Avatars going. Boom. Yeah, it's kind of awesome. We got all our Sun's Avatars. We're just doing all this amazing healing. Might as well just throw a Divine Toll in there. Why not? Let's just do all this amazing healing. Yeah, it's just so good. Too much healing. Get an instant cast flash heal out there. And you see my Avenging Wrath fades away. Now I have my Sun's Avatar. So you see that, my Sun's Avatars are still lingering on these targets. I also got those 2 Dawn Light applications with that Solar Wrath. Yeah, it's pretty dang awesome. Gotta love to see that. So it's gonna feel pretty good just having that extra bit of healing when your wings fades away. It can definitely go a long way. So, pretty good tier set in my opinion. Really like what I'm seeing here. This does work through Awakening Wings. I don't believe it's at reduced effectiveness. I believe you still get the full effect of the 10 seconds of your Solar Wrath outside of your Awakening Wings. So that is going to be really good. Now going over Lightsmith. Lightsmith works a bit differently than what I imagined. As you all know, if you watched that video, I said the way Lightsmith would work is that your Masterwork stacks would create a lesser version of your Holy Armament, and depending on how many Masterwork stacks you had, would determine the Masterwork strength. So I thought it'd summon a lesser Holy Bulwark, which would, just be a smaller Absorb Shield, and your Sacred Weapon, just a lesser version of your Sacred Weapon. Sacred Weapons that just didn't do as much healing and whatnot. I had no idea if it was going to work through Tempered in Battle. I just thought it was going to be a smaller Sacred Weapon. That's actually not the case. It's a little bit different than what I imagined. So going over the 2 set, Hammer and Anvil's healing is increased by 15%, and it can also be activated by Crusader Strike at 100% effectiveness. 4 set, Hammer and Anvil also grants a stack of Masterwork, causing your next Holy Armament to cast one lesser version of itself on a nearby ally for each stack. So you can see what they're trying to do here. They're trying to push the melee playstyle. Originally, they wanted Lightsmith to be that spec'd out random engine Crusader. I'm pretty sure people who run Lightsmith probably forget that Avenger Crusader is the Fist Reaver of Holy Paladin. Your Judgment, your Crusader Strikes heal, deal damage, and 260% of the damage you deal is split evenly amongst your allies. People forget that. We simply just use Avenger Crusader for the 1 minute cooldown to proc your Blessing of the Forge, and obviously get the Tempered in Battle benefit. It's the only reason why you run Avenger Crusader. That's not Blizzard's intention. They want you to get in there and actually use Avenger Crusader. Get in there and get your Judgments in, your Crusader Strikes in there and whatnot. So, I kind of like the idea. I wonder how viable it's going to be. But yeah, Hammer and Anvil now procs off of your Crusader Strike. Pretty cool. Hammer and Anvil healing for me, is super weak. It used to be very strong in Season 1 when they initially buffed it. And then outside of that, maybe it was a scaling issue, but it just is weak. It is bad. It's really bad. So hopefully this will kind of put it back on the map. But yeah, I haven't even gone to crit yet. And that's also the main thing, is that it's you need to crit your Judgment and your Crusader Strike in order to proc the Hammer and Anvil. I'm a Holy Paladin. I have default a bajillion crit, and I haven't crit a single Crusader Strike or Judgment this whole time. You gotta be kidding me. So we can go to our wings here, and hopefully we get a crit. So there we go. We got a crit. We have 1 Masterwork stack. Let's see if I can get another one. We got 2. Maybe we can get 3. Maybe I'm kind of feeling myself here, honestly. Feeling myself a little bit. Feeling myself? Alright, I felt myself too much. So you see here we have 2 Masterwork stacks. Your next Holy Armament will cast 2 lesser armaments. I have my Holy Bulwark. When I cast my Holy Bulwark, a couple of my allies will get a lesser Bulwark. So you see here, this guy got my lesser Bulwark. You see he has the real Holy Bulwark, which is that amazing 5 million Absorb Shield. He has a lesser Bulwark, which is that 1 million Absorb Shield. Same thing with this guy. He has the lesser Bulwark as well. I don't think anyone else got it. Yeah, because I only had 2 stacks. So yeah, that's how it works. Now for Sacred Weapon, I thought it was going to be a lesser version of Sacred Weapon. It's kind of a lesser version of Sacred Weapon, but it's not actually Sacred Weapon itself. It's a really interesting thing. So let's go ahead and get some more Masterwork stacks. Note you're thinking, no, your Masterwork stacks do not proc off of your proc. Do not work off of proc. Holy Armaments through Divine Inspiration does not work for those. Your Masterwork stacks will proc off of your Avenger Crusader, your Awakening Wings, and my actual cast of my Sacred Weapon and my Holy Bulwark, but not the procs from Divine Inspiration. But I use my Sacred Weapon. You see these guys get their less weapons. Your next abilities will deal additional holy damage or healing. So yeah, I don't know how much damage they're doing. How much? I mean, that's actually. Oh, I can actually see here. I can see their lesser weapons. Whoa, that's kind of crazy. Wow, that hit for. What the hell? Why was that hitting for 1 million? What the helly? That looks like some pretty decent damage if that can be replicated in PvP. But yeah, That's how your sacred weapon, your lesser version of your sacred weapon works. A couple of your skills, your 5 additional skills will deal additional holy damage or healing. That's pretty cool. In terms of viability, I don't know how viable that's going to be. I mean, if I could proc my hammer and anvils at range, if there's a guaranteed way to proc hammer and anvil, I think this would be really good, but unfortunately, there's not a guaranteed way to proc hammer and anvil. I mean, you saw there, like, I got kind of lucky with those 2 procs, but like I was kind of smacking this dummy for a while, and I was getting nothing from Judgment, and nothing from Crusader Strike. So, if there's not a way to guaranteed proc your hammer and anvil, I think that's a little bit sketchy. But if they end up having a way to guarantee proc hammer and anvil, or reduce or make it so it doesn't require critical strikes, it simply just procs off of your just procs normally of a Crusader Strike in your Judgment, maybe that could be a lot better. But yeah, if they're going to implement the melee playstyle, it has to be really reliable. So now let's go over our talent changes. We have some talents being moved around, and we have some pretty drastic changes to a lot of our talents. One of those talents is your Beacon of Light. So your Beacon of Light no longer transfer indirect healing like Dawn Light. So if I apply Beacon to Jezebel right here, I Dawn Light myself, you'll see, wow, that was a really long range. You'll see that they will not get the transfer healing from my Dawn Light. Wow, pretty interesting. But in return, we have more healing transfer of our Beacon of Light. Because we're only going to get the direct healing transfer from Beacon of Light, it has to be stronger. So now it's 25% healing transfer compared to the 15% healing transfer that we currently have in Season 2. So that's interesting. So again, they will get some healing when I use my direct heals. This is something I am concerned about. You saw there, I used my Eternal Flame. It did not heal these guys at all. So that's a little bit concerning. Obviously, Eternal Flame has a heal over time effect to it, but it still also does direct healing. So hope that bug does not last any longer and does not last until 11.2 drops, because that's a little bit sketchy. But yeah, they'll get healing when I cast my Holy Shock, my Holy Prism, my Holy Lights and all that jazz, but not indirect healing like heal over times and whatnot. So I personally like it. I don't know if I'm shooting myself in the ass, because I don't actually know how much my Beacon of Light transfer healing is actually from indirect healing. So hope I'm not shooting myself in the foot. But yeah, we can go over some other stuff. Our Infusion of Light is actually a little bit different now. So current Infusion of Light, makes it so your Greater Judgment is more powerful. Your Holy Light heals for more, and your Flash of Light has more healing as well. Compared to now, where our Infusion of Light will do a couple different things. Our Flash Light healing is increased by 45% and it becomes instant cast. Your Holy Light healing is increased by 45% and its cast time is reduced by 30%, and then Greater Judgment is still the exact same thing. But it also generates additional holy power too. I did not know that until I just read it. Wow, I'm an idiot. Yeah, Infusion Light is a little bit different now. Let's go ahead and do this for our Judgment. Let's go ahead and proc another holy power. Ooh, gotta love that. Gotta love that. Pretty awesome. So yeah, that's gonna feel really good. I wonder if you can take more talents like this, like Tower of Radiance and Moment of Compassion. I mean, getting those instant cast flash heals, just getting the additional holy power, and for Moment of Compassion, specific for arenas. Obviously, this would suck in RBGs, but for arenas, your Moment of Compassion will increase your flash heal healing by an additional 15%. I know this is 50, but in PvP combat, it is 15% on your Beacon of Light target, so that'll feel pretty good. The Holy Light reduced cast time feels amazing. This Holy Light is a long cast time. I don't have a problem with that, especially with how much it heals, but I mean, hey, I'll take reduced cast time any day. That's pretty amazing. Pillars of Light is a new talent. Allies with Beacon of Light are healed for a little bit of healing every 3 seconds, and Beacon of Virtue will instantly heal allies when you pop it. So, I don't know if this is really any good. I mean, that's such low healing. That's really low healing. I mean, it's basically just merciful auras, but through your beacons. So, Not entirely too sure how I feel about this talent. I mean, I can just take it right here. Not too sure how I feel about this. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like talents that are like that, the only talents like this Pillars of Light that are actually good is something like Gifted Ysera. If it's not Gifted Ysera level, then talents like that, you really stink. But you can see here, we're getting some bit of healing. This really getting some healing. 59,000 out of, you know, what's going to be 20 million health pools does not seem that good. I think I can use for Beacon of Virtue, and you'll see that we'll all get some instant healing when I pop it. Boom, we all get some instant healing. I mean, 500,000 is actually not bad, but again, we're going to have 20 million health pools, so, you know, yeah. But that's actually not bad. I want to see how much that can actually, how much effect I can have. But you also see here, we have some talent locations being changed. Power of Silverhand used to be, I believe, where Relentless Inquisitor is. Now it is swapped. They both swap positions. Truce of Veils used to be where Pillars of Light is. Now it's down here where Boundless Salvation was. I wonder why they put Truce of Veils here. Again, like, it's so not how they intended for it to be. These would be like your basic skills. Your middle section would be a bit stronger in newer skills, like, you know, Hand Divinity and whatnot. And then down here would be a lot more powerful skills like your Tears of Deliverance and your Awakening Wings and whatnot, your Rising Sunlight. So I don't know why Truce of Veils would be down here, but it's down here. Should be up here in the middle section, but it's not. Same thing with Relentless Inquisitor. But I digress. Yeah, that's really all the changes we have. I don't believe there's any more changes. I'm really excited for Holy Paladin. I think I'm the most excited for Holy Paladin out of all my healers. Specifically Lightsmith. I have wanted Lightsmith to have a way to kind of proc more holy armaments and for them to be different holy armaments, and I got my wish. I mean, you're gonna get those lesser weapons, you're gonna get the, you know, lesser bulwark. I mean, you saw there, those lesser weapons were apparently hitting for like 600k. One of them crit for 1 million. So I really want to see how much that's gonna do in PvP, especially because I, you know, do a lot of RBGs. Lightsmith could potentially be good in RBGs because it sucks in Battlegrounds. So yeah, I'm really excited for Lightsmith. I'm excited for Herald. I'm excited for Holy Paladin. I'm excited for Season 3, guys. I mean, we've been in this season for so long that I kind of lost count. I've lost count of how many days there are left in the year. You know, that's how long I've been stuck in this stupid season. So, really excited. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And of course, if you did, leave a like right down below. Chuck and subscribe my way. And of course, if you really did like the video, you can always click the link in the description, as it does take you to a playlist of all my Holy Paladin content.